The dawn light crept through Whitcomb Manor's rain-slick windows, revealing more dust, more secrets. The air smelled of wax and old blood. No one had slept. Marian's body had been moved to the drawing room, and the door locked, though Hart knew death didn't stop at a door. Omar stood silently by the fireplace, arms crossed. Clarissa perched on the edge of the piano bench, her expression unreadable. The widow's game now sat in the center of the dining room table, untouched. The black pawn lay on its side. Hart played the voice recording again. "Only one of you will be permitted to read what comes next." Clarissa's fingers twitched. "That implies the choice has already been made." Hart looked at her. "And yet none of us know who was chosen." At noon, Mr. Crowthorne arrived carrying a small oak box, locked with a puzzle mechanism. 4 dials, each engraved with a different symbol: an owl, a sword, a crown, and a flame. He placed it on the table. "Only one may open this," he said, "but it cannot be forced." "Does it know who it belongs to?" Omar asked. "It does." The 3 exchanged glances. Hart stepped forward first. She twisted the dials slowly. Nothing. Clarissa tried next, but as soon as she turned the 3rd dial, the box emitted a low mechanical whine, then locked again. Omar went last. He barely touched the dials before the lock clicked open. Inside was a single page, yellowed, brittle. The 3rd Testament. Omar read aloud. "Loyalty must be proven in isolation. The next heir will spend 1 hour in the Hall of Echoes. No one may speak to him. No one may follow. If he returns, unharmed, he may continue." Hart tensed. "And if he doesn't return?" Crowthorne didn't answer. Whitcomb Manor's Hall of Echoes was a long-forgotten chapel on the northern wing. Shrouded in ivy, its stained-glass windows filtered in murky colors. They had to break the rusted lock to enter. Omar took a lantern. "I'll go." Hart gripped his arm. "Watch for mirrors. The name Echoes isn't metaphor." The door creaked shut behind him. Time passed, minutes like hours. Clarissa grew restless. "What if he's in trouble?" "He knew the risk," Hart replied, though her own hands were clenched white. When the hour ended, the door unlocked on its own. Omar emerged, pale, sweating. His knuckles were bloodied. "What happened?" Clarissa asked. He shook his head. "I saw something. Someone. It looked like Arthur. But not." He spoke in Latin. He said, "Only the blood-born may end the line." Hart scribbled in her notebook. "You're sure it was Arthur?" "Number not exactly, but he knew things. My secrets. Things no one else should." That night, Omar and Clarissa whispered in the corridor outside the study. "You think she knows more than she says," Clarissa murmured. Omar nodded. "She's ex-police. She thinks like them, but this isn't a case. It's a legacy." Clarissa slipped a hand into her coat pocket and drew out a second pearl necklace, identical to hers. "I found this in Hart's room." Omar's eyes narrowed. Omar survived the haul, but what he saw shook him. The phrase "bloodborne" may not mean heirs. It may mean descendants. Secrets are surfacing. Someone is playing multiple roles. Clarissa is lying again. The necklace game continues. Why would mine be in my room? Unless someone wants me to wear it. It's not about trust. It's about obedience. At dawn, Crowthorne summoned the remaining 3 to the Great Hall. The 4th Testament was to be revealed, but only if a single name was written down by each of them. "One must be eliminated," he said calmly. "Not killed. Chosen. Removed from the inheritance. If no consensus is reached, the game decides." He handed them slips of paper. Hart paused over hers. The ink in her pen trembled. She wrote one name, Clarissa. When the votes were read, 2 were for Clarissa, 1 for Hart. Clarissa's jaw clenched. Her pearl necklace snapped from her neck as she stood. "I hope you know what you've started," she hissed. As she stormed out, Hart noticed the widow's game board again. Another pawn had moved, but no one had touched it. To be continued. Like if the mystery pulled you in. Comment with your theories. Who do you trust? Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter. Follow to keep uncovering the truth, piece by piece.